Good day, ICanWin here, and I want to welcome you to this video where I'm going to be sharing with you property income ideas that you can use right now. Now this video is slightly different because this is a 4-part set of videos which I've put together just for you. So what I want you to do is get the most out of this video, and straight after that, get ready for part 2, 3, and 4, because I'm not going to be sharing with you 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, but literally 7 property income ideas that you can use right now.
I don't want to waste any time. I'm going to give you an acronym so you can literally remember all 7 as well. So let's jump straight onto the board so we can get straight into this. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I help people create consistent, colossal cash flow using resources and revenues hidden in plain sight. In fact, whilst other coaches are out there saying that they help people become financially free within 5 to 10 years, me and my team help people become financially free within 3 to 12 months. So if that's interesting to you, hit that subscribe button, press the like button, and be a part of this community so every single time we drop another video, you can find out more. So like I said, let's go. So what I'm gonna do to start is give you guys an acronym in order to help you never ever forget any of the 7 approaches I'm gonna be sharing with you in this video. And the acronym is even easier to remember because it's literally my name. All you have to do is write down Samuel I. So let's do that. SAMUEL and I. Now, each of these letters from my name plus my initial is going to give you one of the 7 strategies that I'm going to be talking about in this video. And I'm going to get straight into the first one because the first one is known as property sourcing, okay? Property sourcing. Now, the interesting thing about property sourcing is many people do not understand what property sourcing is. So I'm going to start by defining it for you and then share with you some of the benefits of property sourcing. Now, property sourcing is the activity of finding great property deals. Okay, this is my own personal definition, but this is the definition I use because there are many people out there who are confused, who think that property sourcing is all about going on Rightmove or going on Zoopla, finding a property that's already available for sale, and then convincing someone that they should buy a property that's already out there on the open internet market and basically buy it through you. I do not define property sourcing as that. I define property sourcing as the art, the skill of finding great deals. And straight after you find those great deals, you sell or trade those deals to another party, an investor who's interested in buying those deals. Now, why is this so important? Well, one of the benefits of property sourcing is the simple fact that you don't have to own any property. So if you're one of those people who already has a portfolio of 4, 5, 6, 7 properties, and you're saying to yourself, listen, I've been pulling out equity again and again, I've been buying each and every property one after each other, and now I'm in a place where I don't really have the resources and revenue to achieve what I want to achieve by continually compounding my property returns. Well, property sourcing could help you, because what you find, and this is kind of the second benefit, is for many of us as property investors, there are many times we're looking at more than one deal at a time. There are many times where we're looking at 2, 3, 4 deals at once. And if you're in a position where you've got 2 deals in front of you, one of which you can see exactly how it might work for you, and you're going to go ahead with that, you don't want to lose the second opportunity. And one of the ways you can make sure you don't lose that second opportunity is by trading it on to other people. So the first benefit of property sourcing is you don't actually have to own any of the property. And the second benefit is you don't need much of your own money in order to control or contractually agree that property so that you can then trade it on and sell it to someone else. Now, let me give you one more benefit of property sourcing in order for you to understand why it's such a powerful strategy out of these 7 strategies. Now, another benefit is the simple fact that if you are starting your property journey, I know most of the people that tune in are not necessarily starting, but if you're someone who is starting your property journey, property sourcing is one of those activities. I literally did this where you can build up your experience in the property field before you actually own many properties yourself. Now that's just 3 of the benefits of property sourcing, and if this is a strategy you're interested in, then on my channel you will find a number of different videos basically talking about how this particular strategy can be achieved. Now there's certain things you need to know, you need to become compliant, and all of these things are very, very basic, even though there are people out there who spend 12 months, 24 months trying to get compliant because a lot of the time they end up falling prey to analysis paralysis rather than just taking action, okay? So let me share with you a short story about how property sourcing has been extremely beneficial for me, okay? Because when I first started my property journey, I didn't start with a silver spoon. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I equally didn't start with a wheelbarrow full of money, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. And as a result, I said to myself, how can I get into this property industry without using any of my own money? Because I didn't have any. Or secondarily, without literally having to create masses of debt. Now, at that time, I thought completely different about debt, and that's the reason why that was part of my mindset. So what I was able to do is I was able to develop myself, start to learn the skill, learn this trade, learn the art of finding great deals. And then from learning that skill, learning that trait, learning that art, I started to realize what people actually wanted to buy. What did investors actually want? And the moment I got good at understanding what investors wanted, I put myself in the best space and the best place to be able to not only trade those deals to those investors, but then soon later to be able to take on many of those deals for myself. So let's go into the second of these 7 strategies. Now, the second of the 7 strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video is known as an assisted sale. Now, an assisted sale is when you come on board with a seller who's selling for some predicament, for some main reason, and you assist them to sell their property. And because you're assisting them to sell their property, what happens is you end up generating a fee, okay, for that assistance you're giving to the person who's selling. So as a quick example, there are many a times people who are selling through means of a form of distress. So just to give you a clear story of one of the experiences I had, a number of years ago, a mortgage broker reached out to me and said to me that he has a property that he's trying to sell with speed. And I said to him, okay, tell me more about the property. And he went on to tell me that basically he had a client, a husband and a wife, who inherited a property. And when they inherited this property, they said to themselves that they were going to do up the property and then sell the property. Now, the reason they planned to do up the property is because the husband was a builder and the wife was actually a teacher at the time. Now, what transpired is that because the husband was a builder, he believed he was going to refurbish the house, but he never really got the time to do so. And the reason he never got the time to do so is because obviously he was working on other building jobs, okay? And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I know some of you might be thinking, oh, but he's a builder. He must be able to do the job. Yeah, he may be able to do the job in terms of skill, but in terms of time, he didn't have that. And this is a big caveat for many of us to remember as we go out there looking for property opportunities. So this builder, the husband of the couple, wasn't able to finish the refurbishment. And as a result, they spent multiple months being charged a mortgage without being able to pay that mortgage because they had no income coming in from the property. Now, this got really worse when the wife out of the couple literally lost her job. So after she lost her job, her income was no longer available to cushion or shoulder the burden of that mortgage, which was a second mortgage for them because they had their own residential home that they lived in as well. So what basically happened in that situation is the mortgage broker got me down to the house and started to share a few interesting things with me. Now, this is totally off record, but just so you know, the mortgage broker was trying to support the husband and wife to sell that house as quick as possible because they had missed 8 mortgage payments and were at risk of being repossessed. So in that predicament, an assisted sale is where I come along and I share with the husband and wife that I'm going to be able to help them sell their property with speed. And as I do that, I may say, for example, we're going to sell this property for £330,000. However, when we sell this property for £330,000, because of my input in terms of a light refurbishment of the house, or my input in terms of my ability to put this property in front of investors in that local area who are keen and interested to actually buy that property, what happens is, although we're selling the property for £330,000, the husband and wife are well aware that I'm gonna have to make a revenue as well. So my cut might be a £10,000 fee. That is the difference between the £320,000 that's going to go to the sellers and the £330,000 that we're going to sell the property to the end buyer. So this strategy is known as an assisted sale. Now, some of the benefits of an assisted sale, I guess, were inside of the example I just gave you. One of them is it allows you to support people who are going through drama, going through trauma, going through stress, and literally want to get rid of their houses with speed, and they don't have time. So this is a lifesaver for people who want to help people who don't have time. The second benefit I want to share with you guys about an assisted sale is that an assisted sale, again, similar to the first strategy I spoke about, is one where you don't have to invest so much of your own money, okay? So you could come along, literally not even having enough money to pay for the deposit on a 300 plus, 330,000 pound house, but have enough money, the 15, 12, 11,000, to pay for the refurbishment on that property. And effectively what you're doing in this assisted sale is you're partnering with the sellers in order for you to provide something that they can't provide. So in the example I gave you, I could be providing the light refurbishment. I could be providing the opportunity or the market in which we're selling the property. So because I'm providing something, there's an element of a partnership in that assistance to sell. And this is the reason why you generate a fee on the back end of that transaction. Now, third benefit I'm going to share with you about an assisted sale, because it's a really, really lucrative strategy, is it enables you to build wealth without actually having any tenants, any liability in terms of property at all. So you don't actually end up owning the property, but you do end up in the middle of transactions, which could be very, very lucrative. So hopefully you got a lot of value just out of those two alone. And if you have got value and you haven't already, hit that like button just to let the YouTube algorithm know that this is valuable content and maybe someone else would find it of value as well. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, why don't you decide to subscribe so you can get all the notifications every single time we drop another video.
If you got value out of this video, be sure to write the comments down below and let us know so we can create more content like this for you. But listen guys, I want to encourage you, if you haven't already, go and watch the other videos in this series. This is a 4-part series, and get all of the value from all 7 of the strategies that you can use to generate revenue in property right now. And I'll see you on the next one, as you remember that small keys open up big doors.